right, welcome to Reso Biz, episode number 7 of the Holey guitar build. Here we go. Hi, I'm Byrl with Byrl Guitars, and this is Reso Biz, where everything is greater with a resonator.
Alright, so I just got back from the grinder. And this is the inside. I beveled the edge a little bit. And I'm going to do it by hand some more, clean it up. And I've sanded this a little bit with the belt sander, but I got to be very careful with it. It's not going to have its rigidity or strength until I've actually glued it in. And it's got all the perimeter to strengthen it up. But we'll just do a little sanding and smoothing it up because it's way easier right now than when I get it in the hole. Okay, a very tragic thing just happened. I was moving the guitar around, knocked my coffee over. Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Knocked it over and wasted it. I think my morning's shot. I don't think I can work anymore. I'll try to push through. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece in here. And there we go. It's definitely a certain way. Put this piece in here and mark it for where I want it to go, so I know where to put the glue. And I'm going to clamp it in and glue it. Glue it and clamp it in. Maybe it's too early to be in the shop. Oh, spilt my coffee. Can't talk straight. That part? Well, I sanded that off, I guess. I'd marked the outside too, or the other side to where it goes in the hole. I'm just... All right, that's it. Sorry, I'm cutting you out of the action here, but it's really not that exciting. Little pencil mark. All right. I got my line drawn. Now we'll get some glue in there. Actually, because this is different, usually I kind of put little C-clamps through the holes, but because this is different, made different, I need to practice clamping it so I know that it, once I put it together, put the glue in it, I know that the way I'm going to clamp it will work. And then I'm not fighting that while the glue is drying and everything else. So let me do that. Alright, well, I'm actually going to glue this 2 different ways. I'm going to put wood glue on the ends out here. But I'm going to spray some accelerator on these little pieces here because I can't... I mean, I'm sure there's a clamp that can, but I don't know how to... Usually I go through the holes here and I clamp them with little C-clamps, and then I get a clamp right here. But I don't know how to get a clamp clear down here and clamp this one like that. I can't even reach it with my thumb, really. And then get one here, and maybe in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... These clamped real nice and get everything tight here. And I'm just going to wick in some super glue the way I do binding, actually I glue a few sound forward holes in this way too, but I'm just going to hold it here with my hand and wick the glue in here. That way it glues quick. I do think wood glue, I believe is, I don't believe, I'm very certain wood glue is stronger. In fact, if you do wood glue, I don't know if you know this, but if you do wood glue properly, when you join wood together, the glue actually is stronger, the joint's stronger than the wood itself. And generally, if you try to break it on a line, if you glued it right, it will snap right up to the edge of that glue, but the glue joint itself won't break. It'll be the wood snap off the edge of it. And so the glue joint's very strong on wood glue. I use Tight Bond, but a super glue one for just another thing with structure to it. Maybe a little structure. I'm not sure where that line is, but super glue works in a lot of different things. I put binding on things like that with it. All right, let me get this going. I think I got everything I need marked. I just put a little accelerator in the middle, and then I'm gonna put some wood glue on the ends. So I just put that wood glue in there, but I've already got accelerator on this piece, and it won't take long to dry. So I can just clamp it with my hand. Believe it or not, part of that already is dry, and the part that's not is because I didn't have it clamped tight enough. There it is. I do this sometimes. I think I'm good. There's a little crack inside the wood, or it seeps through the pores and it glues my finger to the back of it. Some of you guys, you got a Byrl guitar. Some of me still with that guitar in spots. I try to sand most of it off, but I think there might be some DNA on some of them. If I ever die, maybe they figure out cloning, you can re-clone me, make another one. All right. Sound forward hole is glued in. Or it's glued, it's not dried, but there that is. All right. Another step down. That's kind of neat looking. I mean, you see the color of the top and then the side there. All right, I just split this. I went through the table saw, so it was a big chunker, and I just split it. And got a lot of neat character to it. Really, that's probably thick enough for a fretboard as well. This one has a lot more. It's so funny how it's so much different from one side to the other, but So it has a lot more holes in it, which I've already filled. And you say, well, they don't show up very good. I think they will once it's all sanded and you get a little oil on it and it's sanded down to real fine grit, 600 or something like that. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to cut. I want to shape this a little bit, right? I need to cut fretboards, so I'm kind of prepping for that right now. I'm going to get a couple of them cut, but we'll get frets cut up for this. It's going to be neat. Alright, I have Becky Cypress fretboard cut, and now I'm getting ready to do frets, and we're going to do an epoxy fret. So I've got it all formed up, and we're going to pour the epoxy in the fret ditches and go from there. Ditches, I don't know what you grooves, curves, cuttings. As messy and wild as that looks, most of it will be sanded off. Everything I did was just so that the fret lines would have weird marks in it. So that whole mess is really for frets. There it is. Alright, I have the braces for our back here while our epoxy is drying on the neck or fretboard. And once that's shaped and stuff, and we can get that on. But so I'll get these glued in, but before I can glue them in, I got the radius on them. You see the arch in that. It's an arched back. But we gotta get this cleaned up a bit, which I have. I'm trying to think what that is. I think that's the epoxy kind of coming through. Hopefully I haven't stained it so I can't get it out, but we'll see. Oh, so I'm getting it. We're getting the... I'm not sure what I got on it. Oh, it is the epoxy, because we had holes in the middle of the back when I put the center brace on. But, man, the camera, I look like I'm a dirty wreck. That's weird. But when I look at it myself, maybe the camera shows dirt that I can, well, except for my finger, I can see that one, but still, doesn't look like I ever take a bath. Alright, well, I can't do this and hold the camera, but I'll sand it a little bit more. It's coming out. I think I just, yeah, that looks a lot better. Alright, I'm going to get these braces put on. So that goes there. It's a little tight. Is that? Oh no, that's too tight. Alright, we'll have to work on that one. And you see my top, oh, there we go. My top is a little warped. This is where it's going to get fixed. Once this thing gets clamped in and glued, it will be where it's going to be. I see a few things I need to do though. Oh, that one's turned. Maybe that'll help. Okay, I thought that was too long. It is too long. I don't like it coming clear to the edge. I have a mark there to help me center it, and I can't see it. And let's see. I think the rest of them are looking okay. But yeah, you see the... Oh, it's hard to see in the video, I think, but once I press down on that thing, it'll hold its shape when I'm done. And of course, when you glue it to the rim of the guitar, it really will hold its shape. But boy, look at all the figure in that. It's pretty. And that's just sanded. It stays a natural sanded look like that on the inside of the guitar. But once you get it, put on and we do the outside, you're really going to see, once we put the finish on the outside, you're really going to see that beautiful quilt in there. It's very neat. I'm excited about the way we're going to do this. Alright, let's see if I can video this and stay out of the middle of the camera at the same time. I got to work between these two posts. Make sure I do the radius to the side. And then I got this, let me spread this real quick. You're new to the thing of Luthery, you wonder what are these sticks. This is a go bar deck, and I've built this little box, and you put these sticks up against it, and then they bow, but they press down. I've actually built one time. This part wasn't holding tight enough. And I put all the sticks in it, it blew apart while my head was in it. That was exciting. I've told that story before, but it traumatized me, so it's fresh on my mind all the time when I'm doing it. I don't know how many I've done on this deck, and that was it was the first one I ever done. It was maybe my second build, but maybe not even that, maybe my first. But I didn't realize the pressure how much it pushed on the whole thing, and I did not build it tough enough. I blew it to bits. Alright, so there's the back being glued up, and as I look at it, I see a little bit of something there. It's hard to get in those corners. I see a couple things really. So, and then if I miss anything, what I have to do is sand it. And then what I hate about that then is I've sanded everything with the grain this direction, and if you have to fix glue, you have to sand this way, and it puts a mark across the grain, and there's a crosshatch pattern in your sanding. I hate it, but better that than leave glue, so that's what I do. So the best thing to do is get it as clean as you can now, so you don't have to mess with it later. Alright, moving on. So I think that ends the video for this week. Stay tuned for next week. Alright, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next week as we will be flattening this out, sanding it down, planing it smooth, getting it put on the neck, getting the back
put together as this becomes more of a guitar and less of a holy mess. See you next week. Hit the subscribe button and like it if you did. Thank you. Bye.